Hey guys, this is Moller from Moller Smokers, and on today's episode we're going to start building a custom backyard pit for the Bbq Guy in the UK, and I'm going to show you how to lay out chamber doors. Welcome to Building Smokers in Europe, a series where I take you with me on the journey of building my brand, Moller Smokers, from the ground up. Step behind the scenes as I design, build, and refine the most authentic Texas-style barbecue pits in Europe. This is my daily life at the shop, unfiltered. Alright guys, episode 22. We're building a custom backyard pit for the Bbq Guy in the UK. Let's prep this tank for cutting. I have the tank pretty much prepped. I took all the legs out. I had to plug this section. I also shortened the tank a bit because it was too skinny and long and it wouldn't be a good design. So now I've just finished welding the caster assembly. Now let's put them both together. I've got it on top. You can see I started making the fitting for the throat, and I also installed the grease drain. Now let's fit it into place and see how it's going. Alright guys, I have the tank fully level and fully welded to the frame, and I've laid out the main door. Let me show you how I did that. Well, the first step to laying out your doors is finding your top center line and your 90 degrees center line to that. And you do that using the center head square. Again, thanks to Adam for sending me this good one. You have to turn this around and you mark this one and this one. You find 3 or 4 points and then lay your line with a straight edge. It's not perfect because these tanks are not perfectly round, but you can kind of get an idea where it needs to go. You can help yourself with your regular level when you're laying your straight line. So this is gonna be my cut line for the main grate. And from the top line, we need to come down a bit. We do that to lighten the doors, help the tank keep its shape much better, not spring as much, and it just works better. If you do your line right in the center, you're gonna run into some issues. So on this one, because it's a very small tank, I went down about 2 inches, but this can be up to 4 or 5 depending on the size of the tank. Again, once you've done that, you lay this line with your straight edge and you make sure it's parallel, and then you can find your sides. You don't want to cut too close to the weld of the tank for the same reason, to help keep the tank integrity and also make room for your temperature gauge. So you put your mark both in the top and in the bottom, and then use some kind of flexible straight edge to lay your line on both sides. Then make sure it's square with your tape measure and you're good to go. I also marked the center of the head for fitting the collector. This is a little bit more tricky, but you use basically the same tools. You extend this line and you find your center on the other side and do the same, and then you kind of have to come down from here, make sure it's level. It's a little bit tricky, but still it doesn't have to be perfect. The next steps, once you have your door laid out, is to cut the top line, weld your hinges on, then cut the bottom line. I like to weld the handle at this stage, and then you can make the side cuts and open the door. Alright guys, it's Friday. I thought today I'd have the parts for the collector and the firebox, but they haven't cut them yet. And I didn't want to cut the door before I welded the collector and the firebox in. It helps keep the tank's shape. So today, instead of the smoker, I've been working on this grill over here. This is for a local lady. She has a brick fire pit that's circular and needed a grate system, and I thought of this. It sways around so you can move it to mess with your fire and put it back on, and it has an arm here for hanging, and it's the same deal. I'm also missing some parts for this. There's going to be a decorative rooster plate on top and a few other things, but it's looking good. Next week I guess we'll finish both of them. And that's it for today, folks. You know the drill. If you like this kind of content, subscribe, leave a comment, or ask any questions you want. I'll see you in the next one.